Hey everybody, what's going on? The question I get a lot from folks is what is the 70% rule when you're wholesaling? Okay, well, let me break this down to you really quick. I've done this in other videos, but this is a good refresher. Listen, I had a guy the other day go ask me, well, you know, what is there, you always have to buy, you always have to get your property's a 7% rule, for the sellers, and the answer is not all the time, but oftentimes you do. And here's why. Let me explain. Okay, when you're buying properties, okay, typically the idea for a real estate investor is you want to be able to go, you buy it at a discount, and you put sweat equity into it and cost money, and you sell for a profit, right? Well, to do all this, most of the time it's going to involve you have money costs unless you're doing your own money. And even if you are using your own money, you better charge your own self-interest because you're losing money on it, right? You need to be making money on your money. So either using your own money or private money, hard money, whatever, bank money, whatever, any kind of money you're using, you're gonna it's gonna acquire interest. There's gonna be fees involved. Okay, so typically when you're looking at a spread, investors, buyers, flippers, whatever, they're looking at about 10% of that property could be on just holding costs. Okay. And you figure 6 to 8 months. And of course there's gonna be someone going, not me, I get them sold quicker. Well, fine, good job. Okay, that's fine. And a good businessman, good businesswoman, they hope for the best, plan for the worst. Okay. I'm telling you right now, you get a property in a contract, you have a buyer lined up, and boom, you think you're going to make some money, and it blows up at closing. The lender forgot to amortize his property taxes correctly, so dude blows out at closing because his monthly payment goes up $200 a month, and he leaves 2 grand in earnest money. Has that happened to me? Yeah, ask me how I know that story, right? Yeah. So I keep the 2 grand in earnest money. Yeah, cute. And my monthly debt service is 5 grand a month. Okay, keep your 2 grand, just close them the same right. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's important to know holding costs. So the 70% rule, a buyer, they the first 10%, right, is going to go to their holding costs, and then the second big cost is going to be closing costs and commissions. I mean, a lot of times, most realtors are 6%. Buyers and sellers, agent, 6%. But if you have a house that qualifies for FHA, whatever, maybe a USDA, some of these things, even USDA. Most of the time, it's those kinds of loans. You don't have to come up with any cash if you're a buyer. Sometimes, though, the buyers are going to ask for the seller to participate in their closing costs, which could be up to 3.5%. So 3.5% on the closing costs and 6% commission, do the math, that's almost 10%, right? 9.5%. So you got 10% holding costs, 10% closing costs. That 10% is a profit, right? So you as a wholesaler, like, well, it's $300,000 home. 10%, that's 300. That's made 30 grand. Yeah, 30 grand though. I mean, that's pretty risky. What if the house sits too long? And the price drops. They call market rot. You have to just keep dropping the price so you get a buyer, and then your 30 grand your profit, but that could evaporate pretty quick. Does that make sense? So what I'm showing you, this is what's going on in the mind of your buyer. Okay. And so that's why those rules are important. Now, here's the thing though. Okay. Is there always a hard and fast? No, nothing is. Okay. What matters is what your buyer's business model is. And the onus is on you as a professional to ask them. I had a gal call me up the other time and wanted to argue with me. Well, you know what? I took some course and the guy told me 80%. That's what he told me, not 70%. You guys just trying to lowball. Fine. I mean, the guy can tell you whatever. Tell you Santa Claus is real. Who cares? 80%, fine. 90%, who cares? But if you want to be successful, you should care because it's not about some course you took or me talking to you on this video. Nothing to do with that. Has has to do with a buyer who has the funds and are willing to buy this property, what they're willing to pay for it. Does that make sense? And their business model. Once you know that, man, that's great. Just do the math. It works. Hey, I got a deal for you. It's within your parameters, Let's close on this, do some business. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. Okay. The 70% rule is just a rule of thumb. To recap, you just want to get to know what your buyer's business model is. Maybe they have a little bit different than that. Doesn't matter. What matters is what they want, and then give them their product. So I hope that helps. If you need clarification, maybe on the numbers, looking at a deal, whatever. You want to talk about some maybe some joint venture? Just let me know below, and we'll set up a time for a free strategy session. Godspeed. We'll see you next video.